Cheonsu is a game streamer who lived an ordinary unemployed life. The scene begins with Cheonsu playing for the third time trying to survive in a zombie world. He has to get some useful weapon, and is going to open a supply box. He grabbed a baseball bat and said he was having a good day. Guns have limited bullets, and since they make loud noises, they draw aggro and attract zombies towards you. So Cheonsu's first choice of weapon if ever fall into a zombie apocalypse is a baseball bat. While seriously playing the game, a viewer sends him a donation of 1,000 won and he thanks him while flanking upside down. He falls off his chair and immediately returns to his seat. He asked the viewer named Only One if he was satisfied with his reaction, and the viewer was asked what he was doing and said that his character died in the game. He apologized while laughing. He got a weapon and a save point anyway, and he got a donation, so it was good overall. Something appeared on his screen asking if he was going to continue the game with his save point when his viewer suddenly asked him if he was still happy even though he had only one viewer. He replied he could still keep going because only one was watching. The viewer chatted again and asked, "Is that so? Then I will choose you." Cheonsu wondered what he was saying and he thanked him anyway for choosing him. Suddenly our protagonist heard an explosion from outside. He opened the window and was surprised to see buildings on fire and people running. He tried to turn on his computer but there was no electricity and he decided to go outside to check the situation. He met a woman but she got scared and ran. A chat window suddenly appeared in front of him and it seemed that those watching him were talking about him. It seemed that they were reacting to what he was saying. He thought he was going crazy when suddenly an undead appeared in front of him. Those who watched him seemed to be so happy that they even bet. When he was surprised, the zombie rushed at him and evaded it. He ran away, and he sped back to the elevator, but the zombie broke the glass. He just ran to the stairs. He wanted to go to his room, but the zombie was close to him. He wanted the zombie to widen the gap between the two of them. He reached the end of the rooftop, but the door was closed. He couldn't open the door. The people watching him argued with him about whether to push or pull the door open. When Cheonsu opened the door, the onlookers were disappointed that the door seemed fragile. He closed the door quickly and blocked it with his body. When he closed the door, he breathed a sigh of relief and wondered if the zombies were the culprit of the explosion. He said it wasn't fun, but when it was a game, he said it was fun and he didn't care about the chat window. He has to get rid of the lone zombie that chased him so he can get to his room. He thinks he has to find anything to make a weapon. But when he looked behind him, he saw a zombie, his landlord. When he was about to run, he tripped over. The zombie rushed at him and wanted to bite him. He kicked him away. And he stood, and when the zombie rushed again, he avoided it and fell into the building. Those who watched him were amazed as if he did it on purpose, while others said it was just a coincidence. When he was able to breathe easy, the door suddenly slammed and there were 3 zombies who wanted to approach him. When he was surprised, he saw a box and his viewer said it was a supply box. He smiled and quickly opened the box. When he opened it, a baseball bat was exposed to him and his followers congratulated him that it would help his situation. He held the bat tightly and 3 zombies rushed at him at the same time. He hit the zombie but didn't hit him and he seemed to be panicking. He was laughed at by the onlookers and said he didn't have a fight. He couldn't swing the bat at his will as if he was in a dream. He had to let go of a zombie behind him and suddenly he fell down. He had the courage to cut the baseball bat. He rushed and he skewed the 3 zombies like a barbecue. The scene shifts to him returning home. It is said that the viewer did not expect him to escape. The other said he was on the edge of his seat. He took his cell phone but it was not working properly, like his computer. The viewer asked him what he was going to do from now on, and he said he was going to his parents' house. He took the keys to his motorcycle and left. A viewer was getting impatient and asked if he was going to go far. He made something before he left, the viewer said, and the other asked what it was because he didn't see it. He was annoyed because if the viewers could speak it would seem like they were in his situation. The whole downtown was chaotic and he needed to hurry because his motorcycle was about to run out of fuel when suddenly someone blocked his path and he fell down and hit his motorcycle. "Isn't that a tongue?" said his viewer. He turned to see what it was. And he saw that it was a big frog. He stopped and was surprised. Apart from the zombie there was a monster like this big frog. The frog got ready and attacked him. Cheonsu avoided it and he ran away. His attack is only straight so he has to avoid a straight path so he can get away. He has to go deeply into the alley. The faster he gets to the corner, the higher chance he has of avoiding the tongue attack. That thing seemed to be safe in his bag. He did it quickly before he left his house. He took it out, and it turned out to be a Molotov. He provoked the frog and it jumped on him. He got away. He lit the Molotov with a lighter and he threw it at the frog. He expected that one Molotov was not enough to take it out, so he threw a Molotov again. He took out one again, and just how many does he have? The viewer said. That was the last firebomb he had. He challenged the frog by shouting. The frog retaliated and attacked him. Cheonsu avoided it and threw the last bomb he had in the frog's mouth. The frog lost its balance and fell to the ground. While he bravely looked at the frog, his audience said that they had never seen anything like him. He stared at the frog and wondered if it was finished. The onlookers were amazed and said that they had never seen anything this good at the beginning of the game. Cheonsu saw this and thought that his life was at stake in the game alone. All of a sudden he was confused about whether it was reality or not, but he was not going to die stupidly, he said. And finally, he unlocks a skill: aggro and record accumulation. He looked at the screen and realized that it was indeed a game. A skill window appeared in front of him. Aggro, 10 minutes. The more monsters aiming at you, the stronger you become. An additional 10% increase from the original physical ability per monster killed. Calculations are cumulative from start to end. Record accumulation: in the best aggro record, 10% of that gain is added to the basic physical ability. In other words, the original self is strengthened, and this figure is renewed every time the record is changed. He was amazed at the skill with which he seemed to want to lead him into the tiger's den, although it was perfect for him as a streamer. In the meantime, he has to set aside the thing that's making his head hurt and prioritize ensuring his family's safety. Thanks to that frog, the scooter is now dead, but since he's almost there, he can somehow walk there. He hopes that everyone is safe. When he arrived at his parents' house, the look in his eyes was like he was very surprised. The house was perhaps caught in a tornado? The viewer said. Cheonsu rushes inside the house while looking for his parents. He looks everywhere in the house, but they are not in the house. Aren't they already eaten? You crossing the line. Let's just say they went to America. The viewers said. Since his parents keep records well, they probably left a trace of something. He looked at every single corner of the house and found nothing. Finally, he went to his room. He saw a note from his mom that they were leaving with the soldier who stopped by. The unit was called the 7.5th Division. He was shocked that they were left with the military. The chapter is over here. Please like and subscribe. Celestial Manhwa if you like the story. The people watching him keep on chatting, wondering if he was really been abandoned by his parents. Something weird seems to be going on. He thinks that with his dad's personality, there's no way he'd leave first. He thinks that something's weird about this note. And he realized that the key element of the main story is to find the lead character of the game. There's a high chance that this scenario was arranged with that intention. Therefore, there's no use in being impatient this time. And there's only one clue in the 7.5 division. He looks into the cabinet and loots some tuna that is left in the cabinet. The viewers continue to chat as if they are talking about what he is doing. He needs to fill himself up and be ready to go. He might have nothing to do in this place anymore. While he was getting ready, he heard a sound, but he knew there was no zombie inside the house. He took a knife and walked slowly to where he heard the sound. He found out it was outside, and he opened the window. When he opened it, he was pulled by a zombie. He stabs the zombie's hand to get them to let go, and finally they let go. While he was shocked, the skill window showed that he activated aggro because of the zombies, a time limit of 10 minutes. The more monsters target you, the stronger you become. That is the kind of skill it is. He is strong and wants to try this skill. He opens the door slightly and he hits the zombies on the head. The skill aggro gets 7 stacks and nearly ends, but before it ends, he has killed all the zombies, and the entrance of the house is a mess. A minute is still left before the skill runs out. It is really effective. When he suddenly hears a sound coming from the kitchen, there is another zombie. He will finish it in less than a minute. While he was searching, isn't that the tuna can? A viewer chatted. And then he finds a man hiding under the table. The scene shifts suddenly to the man cooking. The viewers will wonder what happened. Cheonsu, That son of a bitch is out of his mind, he's going to eat a dish cooked by a stranger? The viewers said. Go Cheonsu called the man brother and wondered if he was supposed to call him like that. He fought all the monsters and he is starving, he is going to fill his stomach anyway. But Cheonsu is ready no matter what happens, he is not easily fooled, you can see it in the look in his eyes. Cheonsu says if he were to threaten me and get in my way, then I'll ruthlessly. His sentences were stopped when suddenly the man finishes his cooking and serves it to Cheonsu. You'll ruthlessly what? Looking forward to it. The viewers chatted. The man said that he was working in Myeongseoru kitchen and they didn't have enough delivery men, so he came out instead to deliver food, but was suddenly attacked by the zombies. Cheonsu replied that he suffered because of the zombies he brought into the house. The man apologized to Cheonsu and begged him not to let him go because there were zombies outside. He's good at cooking anyway, so he will cook for Cheonsu to let him stay. He accepts the offer and eats and is planning to leave soon anyway. While they were eating, the man asked them where he was going. He said where he could get information, and asked him to come with him because Myeongseo Elementary School is just across from their restaurant. And he heard there's an evacuation center there. He could get information there and the man's colleagues might be there too. Cheonsu thought suddenly that the writer was the first person he encountered. He thought that if he was inside a game, then this guy might be an NPC, would give him clues and guide him to the story. He has decided to go with him and the man says his name is Jung Mingyu. They got up and got ready to leave. Cheonsu asked if Jamingying had a bike with him, but when a zombie attacked him, he left it behind. It's good that there is a bicycle in storage. They will try it. If it still works, Mingyu will go to it. While Cheonsu is fixing the equipment, he is surprised when Mingyu screams that a titan monster is holding him and it is going to eat him. Mingyu, he was asking for help. The viewers told him that it was a big head, it's on a different level compared to zombies and frogs. That was the one who broke the house. The viewers told him to just leave it and ignore it. He took the bike and Cheonsu ran away. Mingyu stopped shouting and Cheonsu looked at the big head. The skill aggro was activated and the 10 minutes countdown was started. The big head is very fast and he doesn't know how to fight it. On the way he saw Mingyu's motorcycle, other zombies saw him and added to the aggro. He hoped the key was still there because he fell while riding the motorcycle. He got it. The motorcycle and its engine was still on. He succeeded in getting the motorcycle. The big head kept chasing him while he was thinking how he could escape it, and Cheonsu said he isn't easy to deal with. The scene moved to a policeman letting people into the school because they were going to build a barrier in the area soon. A man stopped him because he said Mingyu hadn't come back, but the police said Mingyu might be dead and he gave up. The man got angry and said what if he is still alive and just around, they should wait a little longer. The man was calmed down by his friend and he said they went inside first because it was dangerous to wait outside the school. He agreed when they suddenly heard the sound of a motorcycle and the man was surprised to see Mingyu's motorcycle, but it was not Mingyu but Go Cheonsu riding the bike. People's eyes widened when they saw the big finger tied to Cheonsu's motorbike. The viewers are saying that Cheonsu is an attention seeker. The man who was looking for Mingyu asked Cheonsu where he was. He immediately said that Mingyu was dead. He was busy, so he immediately looked for who was in charge there. Lee Seo-jun replied that he was the head of the security transportation department. He said that they have a chief, but he is in charge there. Cheonsu introduced himself to the officer and said that they were surprised that Cheonsu brought the corpse of the big head. Cheonsu found out that the officer already knew about the big head. The officer asked him what happened to this monster and Cheonsu immediately replied that he killed it. Can be seen on the faces of the people that they were surprised by Cheonsu's words. People wondered how he killed the big monster. The scene switches to a throwback. Cheonsu challenges the viewers to a bet. He bets his life that if he kills the monster, the viewers will do a favor that Cheonsu asks, and if he fails, he will die. The viewer agreed to this bet and Cheonsu started to accelerate his motorcycle to a speed of 120 km per hour. At this speed the big head was chasing him. He passed through the tunnel and the big head hit the tunnel and it died immediately. The scene shifted to their conversation with the police officer. He said he needed to be inspected first, but the people were happy to know that he killed the big head, so they asked if he could go first. While inspecting Cheonsu, the viewers were talking about whether the big head died naturally. When the inspection on Cheonsu was over, the man called him again, asking if his Jung Mingyu was really dead. Cheonsu said that he was really dead and did he know Mingyu. He introduced himself as the owner of the place where Mingyu worked. Mingyu said that the two of them should have gone to the evacuation, but it didn't happen because of that monster. Cheonsu told the man that he shouldn't worry because he didn't steal the motorcycle from Mingyu and he would never forget the last Mapo tofu that it did for him. The viewers co-commented that Cheonsu is getting good at acting and says he ate the tofu, threatening Mingyu. The man was teary-eyed when Cheonsu left. When Cheonsu was leaving, he crossed the line and a notice appeared in front of him: "You have left the tutorial. From now on, you can increase your chances of survival by using the stats window. Good luck to the last man standing." Everything that happened was just a tutorial and the viewers kept commenting. When Cheonsu entered the building, Cheonsu wanted to talk to only one. Viewers wonder who only one is when he suddenly starts chatting. "You want to talk to me?" Cheonsu answered, "Yes, my only viewer." The viewers were surprised that the bet was not for them but for only one, and the viewers asked Cheonsu if he read the explanation at the beginning, but he said nothing. Viewers are curious about how he reached this point without a clear initial explanation. He has now been informed that if he completes the game, he can shape the world according to his preferences. The current contemplation revolves around the nature of the world he inhabits. Surprisingly, it is the very world he used to live in is reality, transformed by something called My Exit. At this point, Cheonsu exclaims that this is truly a game. However, he imparts a crucial reminder: he is the sole participant in this game. The reason behind this exclusivity is the preference for observing a single individual at a time. He is the chosen protagonist, uniquely capable of perceiving the observers. The truth about this world remains hidden from everyone else. They have been remodeled into non-player characters, NPCs, to fit the framework of the game. Continuing, Cheonsu confirms that even Minute Gyu was one of these recreated NPCs. These characters, for the most part, serve as background figures. Only one reassures him, drawing a parallel between themselves and the viewers not fundamentally dissimilar. Suddenly, Cheonsu demands, "Just who the heck are you?" In response, he asks if he's become something akin to a deity. He watched himself in the mirror and only one replied, "That's a funny question. In all the games you played, did the characters ask you that question?" In the midst of their enigmatic exchange, only one's voice resonated with a hint of admiration. "Well, just know this. I like your illogical showmanship. You also know it, don't you? I'm not someone who will betray you. Now, I want you to struggle as much as you can." Cheonsu responded with a wry smile, "You gave quite an overwhelming mission to an unemployed guy." Interrupting the conversation with an intrigued tone, Cheonsu added, "Wait, I can use the info window from now on, right?" As if a curtain were being lifted on a new chapter, a piece of vital information appeared. Information 1: The police chief at Myeongseo Elementary School needs protection. Tonight, when he dies from a crisis, the city's public order will be rapidly ruined. Inside the school field they gathered with the gate closed. While everyone was preparing food supplies, it seemed that Cheonsu is looking for something else. He was looking for the police chief. The fear that is felt on the faces of the people can be seen. The police then announced that they could eat now and lined up to get food, but the police noticed that Cheonsu was going to somewhere else. He said that he wasn't hungry yet. He approached the police who were guarding the building and he wanted to talk, and he was looking for the police chief. The guard answered but said he couldn't say where he was. Cheonsu asked why, but the guard still didn't say it. A viewer's chat appeared that suspicious. Cheonsu thought something was going on inside the building. Cheonsu said he could help if he told him where the chief was. The guard now gets a walkie-talkie and someone answers. He asks if Cheonsu came to hunt monsters. Cheonsu says yes, but the guard says it's true, they are looking for people who have the ability to kill monsters, but the chief police is missing. He hasn't returned after going out, so they are planning to conduct a search. Cheonsu asked why they didn't search for him earlier, but the guard said they were busy protecting the evacuees and there were only 30 officers left. Cheonsu asked if he could see the office of the chief police, and he said that he was not hiding anything from Cheonsu because from now on they will help each other. Time is running out, and since they are both looking for the chief police, he needs information. He has been allowed to go to the chief's temporary office. When he got here, he asked his viewers for help, but they didn't want to help. He saw a map on the whiteboard and on the table, there was a mark on the map and it wasn't far, but suddenly there was someone standing outside the door. He came in and said he heard a story that Cheonsu can kill monsters. He introduced himself as Inspector Jin Kyongo. Cheonsu shook his hand and introduced himself, and suddenly his facial expression changed. They heard screams outside. Cheonsu asked what was going on. Suddenly an infected person appeared. It bit people and started chasing them. They started infecting them and causing chaos already. Cheonsu took his hammer and helped kill the zombies. In the middle of the chaos, a policeman yelled for them to stay away because they couldn't use their guns because they were close together. Cheonsu replied that they should use clubs instead of guns. Behind the police, a man yelled at Cheonsu that he wanted to help. He was carrying a pan, and it turned out to be Mr. Jang. Mr. Jang is the owner of the restaurant where Mingyu worked. His friend yelled at him that it was too dangerous, but he didn't stop. He angrily hit the zombie and said because of them Mingyu died. Cheonsu now helped him and hit the zombie again. Cheonsu asked why he didn't finish the zombie. He said, Mr. Jang said, in that case, I will be the only one left with the last hit. It's getting messy and people want to get out. They want the police to open the gate so they can get out, but it calms them down. Cheonsu suddenly wondered what the inspection was for. He wondered how a zombie was there. It didn't come in from the outside. What crazy bastard would let a zombie in? The viewers chat about who the villain is this time. Cheonsu is sure that this is one of the police. Cheonsu's head hurts and he doesn't want this anymore. He just needs to find the chief to end this. He called Mr. when he said that he would watch the police if he did anything strange while he was gone and that he would not join the search party to find the chief. Jang asks why and for what. Cheonsu replies that he doesn't have time to explain and is doing it to make up for Mingyu. Please believe me if you want to survive this. Cheonsu decided to leave that place, but the police stopped him from leaving. The police said he would just leave even if he agreed to help the police. A policeman stopped him again and Cheonsu removed the police hand and he left. He took the motorcycle in front of Jang's restaurant and left. The viewers asked him where he was going and he said he was going to the place marked on the map. He arrived at the place but there was no one there. He started to look around the place but all he saw were footprints from many people or animals. And all of a sudden Cheonsu asked his viewers why he doesn't get supply boxes anymore. The viewers replied that you don't want a supply box and Cheonsu didn't agree with it. In the middle of the ranting of Cheonsu, the viewers replied, shouldn't you be buying the supply box, you need money to buy it. Viewers told him that he doesn't remember the 1 zen he received in the trial. He used it to open a supply box, and the viewer told him to open the chat window and scroll to the end of it. He saw cash chat turned off, and viewers told him to turn it on. Only one has sponsored you with 1 zen. Congratulations on officially opening a wallet. Maxed Out has sponsored you with 1 zen. And I thought he wouldn't open it. Tungguyanyanek has sponsored you with 1 zen. Lick. Cheonsu grabbed his neck as if he were depressed and shouted, how can you hide something this important from me? Chapter 5 ends here. Did you like the story? Please like the video, subscribe to our channel, comment down below your thoughts, and share it if you love the recap. Thank you for your support. Now he entered the container house and it seemed that his viewers were teasing him. He told them that they thought he would get angry easily and that he would not hold a grudge, and the viewers replied, he's holding a grudge. We can see the truth in your eyes. LOL, he's upset. He thought to himself that maybe they haven't told him everything yet, maybe there are still things he doesn't know. While he was thinking deeply about where the chief is, suddenly he was surprised and screamed because a zombie's face appeared in front of him who activated the aggro while he was still being teased by the viewers. It can be seen outside that many zombies are approaching the container house and adding to the stacks of his aggro skill. He is annoyed and he kicks one of the zombies and he is able to get the attention of the other zombies again. He punched one of the zombies and the viewer told him that there was one behind him. He dodged and he faced the zombie as if he was angry. His aggro skill has 14 stacks and with 8 minutes left his physical ability growth rate is 240%. He continues to fight the zombies that surround him. In the middle of their fight, a car suddenly appeared and seemed to want to run him over. The police noticed that the zombies seemed to be no match for him. Cheonsu said that this is the crazy cop inside the elementary school. He wanted him out of the car and he provokes but he ran over him and he dodged. The police were surprised where Cheonsu was and suddenly he appeared beside the policeman. He breaks the car window and drags the police but he resists. He shoots Cheonsu and Cheonsu bends down to avoid the bullet. The man drove the car at high speed and fled, but when the police looked at him in the mirror, he saw Cheonsu chasing him even though he was at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. He wondered how Cheonsu was chasing him. He turned and seemed to hide in the truck containers. Cheonsu shouted police name Jin Kyung-ho. The car stopped and Kyung-ho pressed something. Suddenly the doors of the containers opened and they contained a lot of zombies. The zombies came out and the viewers commented that he was fooled and fell into a trap and told him that if he doesn't think he can do it then he runs. The aggro skill has 40 stacks and only 2 minutes left. When he was surrounded by zombies, Cheonsu spoke to the viewers and said, "Brothers, I will fight them in 2 minutes." Cheonsu's physical ability growth rate reached 500%. The fight started and he hit the zombie with a hammer. He continued to kill them, punching, kicking, hitting and pushing them so that he could escape. In the middle of the fight he saw the car that had not gone far. He pushed the zombie in front of him and he went to the car. He chased him and grabbed the policeman by his clothes. He asked the policeman where the chief was, but the policeman was about to pull out a gun and it fell. The viewer chatted that Cheonsu would take the left hand. He got it. He broke the hands of the policeman and kicked him. The police passed out and he took the handcuffs. The viewers dare him to put it to him and escape and they will give him a reward as Zen, but he did not accept the offer and uses the handcuffs on the police. He started the car and he drove it. He ran over the zombies that would block his way and realized that at the beginning the info window said where the chief was. He just didn't notice it right away. The police chief was, as written on the information window, and Myeongseo Elementary from the beginning. Information 1. The police chief at Myeongseo Elementary School needs protection. Tonight, when he dies from a crisis, the city's public order will be rapidly ruined. He no longer needs to go to the place where he is. While he was driving, Cheonsu suddenly screamed when he saw a teddy bear walking on the road and he ran over. He was laughed at by the viewers watching him. Cheonsu was surprised and told the audience that it was a stuffed animal and suddenly it stood up again. After the teddy bear stood up, it ran away. Our hero was left wondering what it was. Was it a monster? Only one answered him what he saw. It was only a bear. It's a bit different from regular monsters. It works as a guide to supply boxes. And because of that explanation, he realized that there was a supply box nearby. But suddenly the police officer who fell asleep woke up. Cheonsu talked to the viewers and asked them to choose between 2 options. First, tell Jin Kyung-ho to go back to sleep nicely. Second, make him go to sleep using a taser. The comment section was filled with answer 1, but Cheonsu still made option 2 and a viewer said that the voting was rigged. He used the taser and put the police to sleep. He got out of the car and followed the teddy bear to the supply box. This supply box is his second supply box. It costs 5 zens. That's a bit expensive. It doesn't seem to be a weapon based on that shield mark. The viewers told him to go back to the car if he didn't open it, but suddenly, he opened it and the flashlight was the item on the box. He is disappointed that he spent 5 zen on a flashlight. The viewers are teasing him and he has decided to leave and go back to the school where the chief of police is. While he was going back, he was worried if the owner of the restaurant was okay. The scene moved to 3 policemen talking about how they entered and had a zombie inside the school despite the strictness of their inspection. While the 3 police were talking, the police department Lee Seo-jun spoke to calm everyone down and said that there was no problem with the inspection because he himself was in charge. He said to just think that it brought bad luck and the other policemen agreed with him. Outside the school building 2 policemen are talking and they are talking about where Jin Kyung-ho is. They had to move the chief because of Cheonsu. It said that there was something different about Cheonsu from the very beginning. The police said that the 3 of them were conspirators in the plan. In the distance Jang was listening. He heard everything the police were talking about while he was hiding. He thought he had to find Cheonsu and tell him these things. Outside the school, 2 police officers saw Jin Kyung-ho's car. They pointed a flashlight at it and looked inside. They saw that the inspector was unconscious inside the car. The scene switches to Jang running away so no one can see him and he is looking for Cheonsu when they suddenly meet on the stairs. He said that he just came back. Cheonsu asked Jang if he saw or knew anything. He grabbed Cheonsu's shoulder and said he knew everything. Jang told the story of the police chief and the department chief Lee Seo-jun are down in the basement. The one guarding the main building is also mixed up with them. Cheonsu went to the basement and hid in the door. He saw that the chief was tied up and Lee Seo-jun punched him. It can be seen on the chief's face that he was beaten and Lee Seo-jun pointed a taser at him. The viewer chatted, Cheonsu, won't you pass out if you get hit by that? Start with a dropkick and I'll give you 1 zen. While Cheonsu was hiding, he got ready. He did the drop kick and hit Lee Seo-jun. He splashed and hit the tables. Cheonsu received a zen from Maxadat. When he came back, he was about to get a gun. Cheonsu grabbed his hand and Cheonsu kneed him in the face. He shot at him but no one hit him. While they were trying to seize the gun, Cheonsu punched the police in the face for capturing the chief and he punched him again for his hard work. Look at how you messed him up, you bastard. Cheonsu asks Seo-jun for the key to release the chief, but he wants to fight and is about to take the taser from behind him when Cheonsu precedes him and says that he is not the only one with the taser, but he too used the taser until the police almost lost consciousness. The viewers told him to finish off the police. Seo-jun, after that, he predicted that another policeman was going to the scene, but he hid behind the door and took a gun from his pocket. When the police entered, he immediately shot him without warning. Fucking backstabber. Wow, fuck, I got goosebumps. It's the main building's guard. The viewers are commenting. Cheonsu, so this was your plan all along? Look at him shooting point blank. And of course, he hit the bullseye. Scary. The viewers were happy with what was done and it donated zens to Cheonsu. He received 4 zen from the viewers. When Cheonsu was proud, he put out his 2 hands while receiving the donations from the viewers. After he killed the police, he turned his gaze to the officer who was sitting on the side. He approached him and the viewers were excited about what was going to happen. He pointed the gun at him and he couldn't decide whether to shoot him in the legs, the chest or the head. The police officer was scared with 1 shot, but he didn't know how many times he had shot Cheonsu. A viewer Tungwianinek has sponsored you with 1 zen. Lick. You can see the facial expression on Cheonsu's face that he was grateful for the donation. The chapter ends with the police officer shouting, "Hit the like button for more content like this." We will continue the next part in the next video. Please subscribe to Celestial Manhwa and hit the notification bell so you will be updated whenever we upload a video. See you in the next video. Thank you for your support. Peace.